But anyway, so.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that pop up, I'm like, yep, I know what I'm doing.
I did a sentimental one. That didn't get nearly as much traction. I was like, well, that figures. Meanwhile, the Big Bang Discord did like a bunch of fucking meme things for theirs.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah. If I see something with Shrek in it, I'm usually going to like it. I'm built that way. I'm made to enjoy Shrek.
You know what? That makes sense.
All right, do I say something?
Remember when we were supposed to have a podcast?
All right, guys. Hello. Welcome to episode number 36.
Wow.
36.
Ooh, we are in the upper mid 30s.
That is true. We're past the halfway point of the 30s.
We are.
At this point.
If you want to help us pass the halfway point to 30, please consider subscribing.
Wow, you're hitting that early today.
I saw the 30 numbers and I took my chance with it, so.
You do need to take chances sometimes in life, right?
Do.
Right.
Yeah.
This cat's going to jump on the table. I'm telling you. If you do this, it would be very cute and you should do it. But you also might knock shit over, so maybe not.
Are you leaving this part in the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, this is in.
All right. Fair enough. So anyway, as you might have noticed from the commentary and also if you were watching, we moved locations again.
Okay, so this was not our fault, okay? This is nature.
Yeah.
This is a man's fight against nature continues in my basement. What does that mean? It means it's too fucking moldy down there.
Well, it's damp, which is causing things to be moldy. Yeah. There's a cause and effect.
Huh?
There's a cause and effect.
There is. So we need to get that
treated
immediately.
So anyway, long story short is
until it's treated, we won't be down there.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were off camera using a table for our setup.
Yeah. And
left it down there, and it's only been 2 weeks, and that is fuzzy. It's bizarre. It's like it should be studied.
Real bad. Like I need to clean it off, obviously, and get it all settled. But like the fact that it's that bad in just 2 weeks is pretty bad. Definitely need like dehumidifiers ASAP.
So what did we learn from this experience as adults? Don't put porous things in a porous area.
I made a mistake.
It's okay.
That's okay.
We did have enough foresight at least to like bring all the equipment upstairs after we were done with our last recording.
Yeah, because I thought about it and I'm like, well, this shit, if it breaks, like if that breaks, it's a table that's not even mine and that we're probably not even going to keep, right?
Yeah.
If the plastic table has an issue with mold, it's a plastic table.
Right, yeah. So anyway, we have moved locations again. I can't promise we won't move locations again.
We'll just do a different location every
Keep it
podcast.
Spicy.
We'll be like, where are we now?
Too spicy.
Ooh,
don't stop. We'll get to that later. So yeah, we're above ground dwellers, and we still have no futon, but that's okay.
Well, we do, but we can't use it. It might
there
be
was
done.
a casualty in your move.
It was a casualty before the move, okay? Because
it was a casualty. It was quite literally on its last legs. Our beloved futon.
When it left the office, it was done.
It's like I've retired.
It was done.
34 episodes is enough, and
it said,
I'm done.
I'm ready to go home now. Send me home.
It said, I feel like a retail worker. So, if you know, you know.
We love retail workers.
We
They're
do.
great.
Oh my God. No.
Awesome.
There wasn't a slate of retail workers. It was No. Yeah. Tax the rich and all that. Hey.
Tax the rich.
I don't know.
And all that.
It says, all right. I'm a little loopy today.
It's okay.
All right, cool.
Because it's funny and it's fine. And that's kind of like what the deal is, right?
Yeah. And you know what else is the deal?
What's the deal? What's the deal with...
Yeah?
No, go ahead.
Okay. What's the deal is actually not a lot because we decided we've been like really into talking about and checking out new music and all that stuff. And so figured this would be like a cool sort of free discussion, music talk, with one exception.
What's the exception? Oh, should we even get into this now?
Do you want to? Why
When the
not?
fuck did we start? Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I've learned my lesson from last time. I know when we started. It's all good.
Okay.
Yes, we should talk about what our one non-music thing is, which is.
What's that?
Survivor Australia or
Lord.
Australian Survivor. I don't know what order they have it in.
Australian Survivor season 10.
Heroes versus villains.
This is the most recent season that has occurred, right?
Yes, this is the most recent season that you've actually ever watched because we're trying to, thanks Will Neff, to turning you on to the Survivor lore, as it were, because it's one of my favorite shows. We've been watching like a backlog of episodes. Like the newest season was in 2010 for you. So, it
is weird that I haven't really, because I don't, like I watch all the stuff with you. And then prior to that, I had to wait for whatever was on YouTube.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So not everything was on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
so we, Australian Survivor.
Heroes
versus villains. Oh gosh, I'm batting 1,000. It just ended like maybe a couple months ago. I think maybe 3 months ago. It was still ongoing when we started.
Yeah, it was.
And we watched Australian Survivor because, and I quote, "We need something to come down with from Heroes versus Villains, the US version, but I don't want to do season 1 because it's going to be really slow." And instead, we picked like. Having seen none of the other Australian Survivor seasons, I'm convinced we picked the most fast-paced, like no slowdown season of Australian Survivor we could have possibly picked.
It was good.
It was really good.
It was very long though.
Okay, Australia, I have questions. First of all,
why so many?
While yes, it was a 24 episode season, which is very unusual. Like Survivor US only has ever had, I think, 16 at most episodes. Nowadays, it's like between 12 and 14. It's very short. Mm-hmm. Also, 44 days. That's crazy. How do you do that? How do you get that? Third of all, oh shoot, what were some of the shows that were being promoted when we were watching it totally legally?
Totally legally. I don't remember what they were called.
I swear one was called like To Catch a Thief or something.
Something like that. It was.
Big Bang Theory was promoted a couple times too.
Big Bang, holy fuck.
But yeah,
totally
legally we watched this.
Totally legally.
Thanks Australia. So anyway, we watched it and it's a differently structured Survivor Heroes versus Villains. The one we watched, the American version, was all returning players based Heroes versus Villains on kind of the role that they took in their previous season. And this one was half of that, with half returning players established that way, and half new people by like, oh, you're a lifeguard, you're a hero, or oh, you're a journalist, you're a villain. It was very odd to do it by occupation.
So there was returning players, there were new players, there was Sandra's daughter, Nina, who had played another season prior, but didn't make it through.
She hurt her leg.
So yeah, she was evac'd, right?
Which is so funny. She was on the Heroes tribe when her mom won her as a villain on her own season.
Yep.
So, and I don't know. I see it too. I definitely see her more in the hero camp than the villain camp. So.
Yeah, Nina is not a villain.
No, she's a solid player.
She is a solid player. She's, a couple standouts, right?
Yes. Spoilers, big spoilers. This is spoilers, and this is actually new-ish for season of Survivor. So
the cinematography too on these newer seasons is crazy. Like, the budget is increased so much. Like, these people had like perspectives.
Well, because all in all, like it's cheaper to make than most shows because like what they spend on like challenges and I don't know rewards, they don't spend on basic like necessities or comforts that people are used to. So you save some and you spend some.
There you go. It evens out.
But they were in Fiji. Were they in Fiji? No, they were not. Where were they? Oh,
Samoa.
Boy. Samoa. Okay. I was like, they were in Samoa.
They were in Fiji, Samoa.
Listen, I'm so used to American Survivor. The 40% tax credit is a real thing that they don't want to let go. So
I don't think they will. That's a crazy tax credit for.
I just wish they would. But anyway, we have some notable standouts, and this is going to be very spoilery.
If she knocks this fucking thing over, I'm going to scream. I can't believe you're doing this. What are you doing?
Hey! Okay, we'll cut this out.
What a little bitch. She doesn't want to be anywhere near us when...
We're talking about the cat, by the way. He's not calling me a bitch.
No, I've never called you a bitch. Not...
To my face. We can get this out anyway, but she wants attention.
Mm-hmm.
Attention seeker. Anyway, standouts. Survivor. What's one of your player standouts?
One of my very favorite players is Jerry.
Oh my god, I love Jerry.
Jerry was wonderful.
Yeah.
This older dude. He was a pilot.
Final 3. Yeah.
Yeah, final 3. Pilot.
Yeah.
Older, so he's a little slower.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he
wasn't winning anything physical.
He wasn't winning anything physical. He came close a couple times. I don't think he ever won a challenge.
Yeah.
But
a couple times.
He had a lot of, I don't know if it's power, but he was respected a lot because of like his moves in the game.
Yeah. So his story goes a little something like this. So he is a pilot, like a rescue pilot, like total hero role. He's on the hero tribe. One day, hero tribe loses a challenge. They have to go to tribal council, and they have to vote out somebody to go and spend 48 hours at the villains camp. So it's not to vote out somebody for good. And everybody's looking at Jerry and they're like, he's like a loyal old bloke.
He'll go.
Yeah, and he'll be giving us some good intel or whatever. Jerry was mad. Oh my god, it was so awesome where he immediately sought like an allyship with the villains as a big middle finger to the heroes. And then he straight up comes back to camp and he's like, I know what the pecking order is, and you guys are on top to the whole camp. And he's like, and you guys are on the bottom. You'll be going soon. I'm like, oh my god, he gives like no fucks. It's so awesome.
Jerry
freaking things.
Jerry changed that day.
Oh my god, yeah. Don't betray him. It's really easy. Mm-hmm.
And like there were several moments in the show where that happened to him, like some sort of scenario close to like where he was kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna tell you straight to your face, kind of like what I think.
Oh my god, he can't lie, and it's not because he's a bad liar. It's just like he would rather just tell you the truth, which is so like it's so kind of refreshing to see on Survivor.
It is. He just straight up told people like, nope, I don't trust you.
Yeah. Like, this reminds me of a conversation that he had with one of our other favorite players.
Okay.
King George. So self-proclaimed King George, even though, spoiler, he hasn't won either season he's been on. Came close to both times though. He's basically like Russell Hantz, but more likable.
Likable for sure.
Like the main thing is that he's like cocky and arrogant, but he at least like he's very loyal too. He literally first day was like, I'm gonna get me a bunch of people, and everybody was sort of equal, and I'm not sure if he wanted it that way or if he would have rather them be like his underlings. But there's Spice Girls Alliance, which we'll get to in a second. Yes, but was pretty much solid almost the whole way through. Like so, he was not really an anti-hero because he didn't really do anything heroic, but he was just a fun villain character.
I think George also had honor. So like
George, by the way, sorry, he has a fucking tattoo of an immunity necklace around his neck. Sorry, go ahead. I just needed to point that out.
That was something that definitely
needed to be said. Sorry.
There's no way in any of the pictures that will be up on the screen where you won't see it because it's very prominent.
And write in the comments if it bothers you that they didn't finish it. They literally did not put it around the back of his neck.
That's a little odd.
It's like, maybe if he had won Australian Survivor the first time, he would have been able to afford having the whole tattoo done. But anyway, I totally interrupted what you said. Sorry.
What the fuck was I saying? It was about George, right?
Yes, it was.
George has honor. So
yes.
Like Russell has
none.
He has no honor. He would have a situation and he would take advantage of it. Like George has a clear line where he won't cross.
Yeah.
Now he'll get really close to it and he'll be like flirting with disaster type deal. Like that's his gameplay. Mm-hmm. But mostly he has a lot of honor. He's also like not really like a backstabber. Like not in a totally malicious way.
There's a couple instances.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
I know one specific instance, but
you're talking about Shawnee.
We're gonna just jump right to Shawnee.
Yeah,
Shawnee.
That
did not go unsaid for every viewing that we had. It was great. And Shawnee is the only third time and the first third time player in Australian Survivor history. And she unfortunately is always a bridesmaid and never a bride. But I would love for her to be my bride. This is a Shawnee simp channel. Unapologetic. I do not care. She is feisty and cute and fun and smart. Yes. She's like completely the entire package. She's amazing. And she's got such a killer smile too.
Everything about her is phenomenal.
She's a great player too. She was really like, she got the Spice Girl Alliance is herself, George, and one other person we'll get to in a second. And there was paranoia building with George that like Shawnee was going to win if it ended up coming down to the final 3 of the 3 Spice Girls, and he voted her out blindsided. Horrible.
George had a lot of missteps. I think that was one of them.
Definitely, because after that he already lost her vote. I think so. And
he was losing the trust of another player, Liz, at that point.
Liz, whatever.
Olympian.
Oh my God. Oh, and bless the cameramen. They are amazing. They really know what to show and what not to show.
Liz's butt, right?
Yeah, and also it's like there was so much butt for like the men and the women that like, and I didn't see like any blur, no butt blur.
I need to jump to something real quick. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, we're going real off topic, but there's a lot to unpack.
Jerry had a nipple tattoo.
Oh my God, there were so many good, like, weird tattoos. It was so awesome. And a tramp stamp. Jerry is a G.
He's a G.
He's nuts.
Jerry with a G.
He has like a tribal sun around his nipple.
He's a badass.
He is.
He's a killer.
Liz had some tattoos too, but
she did. But she was an Olympian pole vaulter.
Yep.
She was really fit.
Oh my God, she is
just so toned.
Oh my God, she's so fit.
Very pretty.
Yeah. Like self-proclaimed like consistent resting bitch face, like, and she does, but it's also like you get to like chisel away at that, and you see that she is like also a like smart, funny.
She's very like tactical. Like Liz, Shawnee was too, but I think Liz was more like she could see through all the bullshit.
Well, also because she didn't have any like friendships or anything going into it, because she was a new player. She was a first time player. Meanwhile, George and Shawnee were not. So that might have been why. But
she did fantastic.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason that she won is because of a twist that happened. A lot of twists in this season.
There were a lot of twists.
One of them was like, I think it was drawing for buffs, and you swap up your camps, heroes or villains or whatever. And Liz was like the only villain besides someone else to go into the new tribe full of heroes, and so she had to like start making friends with them and everything, and forging alliances and stuff like that. And I think that helped get her some good rapport with the jury, which was mostly heroes by that time.
She did really well considering that she probably should have been voted off like immediately after that.
Oh yeah,
but she did phenomenal. I mean, she won. She was awesome. So
unanimous. Yeah, she did great. So bow down to the queen. Liz. Yeah.
Lesbians.
The fan name.
Lesbians.
I don't think of a clever one for Shawnee. But anyway,
I'll come back to that.
The person who I was talking about, the other person who swapped tribes was Simon, who's not my favorite, just to make it clear.
Simon is
he's such, like, I keep calling him a goober, like he's such a dork.
So Simon is a perfect example of falling upwards, and just like somebody who has no fucking clue about anything.
Perpetual golden retriever syndrome. Like literally, he'd be like idolizing all these people on like any sort of like in the hero faction, and just completely shafted Liz and whatever. And he's like, I'll do what you say. I'll give you the idol that's literally in my butt crack. Like literally just not shove, like, you know, it's in there.
Wedged.
It's wedged. That's a good
nice wedge.
Shoved, Anyway, the season's wild. A lot of butts. But again, not my favorite. I think he played horribly, and he was just a big dope the entire time.
He got lucky. Every turn of the game was luck.
And then he just flip-flopped all the time. He was like, I'll work with you, George. And then he writes his name down the next tribal council. And then he's like, I'll work with you, George. And then he does it again. He couldn't figure
out what he was doing. No. And then he thought he was making power plays here and there, which...
All he was doing was winning immunity.
Well, he was good physically.
Mm-hmm. And that was it.
That's it.
But yeah, not one of our favorites. I'll cap it off with my crusade for justice for a man named Stevie. Stevie got so screwed by the whole villain camp. I was so mad. I'm still mad. I don't care. So Stevie is a returning player. He is an older fellow, very nice guy, except for, he has like some villainous tendencies. He does. That's why he's on the villain tribe. But he seemed like the nicest of all of them.
Yeah, he did.
And he got voted out because, what was even the circumstance? It was something where like he was literally the last minute vote. They had suggested him while sitting at tribal council.
Yeah.
While he had just gone through all this stuff about how he values loyalty and that he doesn't waver. But if you want loyalty, you know what you should get?
A cat.
Wrong. A dog.
Damn it.
So if you want loyalty, get a dog. And we both were like, damn, that's deep. Wow. You're right.
Say it all the fucking time.
Yeah. It's been a couple months, so it's tapered off a little bit. But but boy, is it just a classic.
You want loyalty? Get a dog.
Right up there with Sandra. I think she liked her in a sexual way.
In a sexual way.
Yeah. But anyway. So.
Stevie was wonderful. Great. Like, good guy. Funny. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like he had this like weird rivalry with Shawnee in the beginning, remember?
Yeah, because they were on the same season, and I guess
was a fighting vote or something.
Maybe, I guess it must have been, or just an opposing alliance or something. But he had like unfinished business. But at the same time, that wasn't really played up a whole lot. Like Shawnee never mentioned it; she didn't care. So like,
he was also kind of feuding with Simon.
Good.
A little bit, which is fine.
He was like one of the originators of fighting with Simon, which we love. We stand.
It was sad to see him go.
I was so pissed. It wasn't supposed to be him. It was literally between two other people, and then people started whispering and be like, "How about we do Stevie?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, okay, cool." So
I think George suggested it to Liz, right?
No.
Okay.
This was early on, because that was Liz being like, "If you do this, I'm going to give my immunity idol to so and so or whoever." Okay. I don't remember what happened. I think it was when it was still, but it was because it was like between Ben and Jerry. Remember Ben? Pompous dude.
Who the fuck is Ben?
He's a writer. He was also Asian.
Didn't he fuck up real bad in my eyes, and I was like really pissed about it?
Yes, I can't remember what happened.
What did he do? He kept selling people out, right?
Yeah, probably. You know, it's a great way for you guys to get a better recap is to watch it. In what way? I can only wish you luck.
I mean, if by chance you were on YouTube and searched it up, it might be there. I don't know. You never know. I don't run the channels. No,
that's Neil now.
And they probably have it on there legally.
They probably do. So anyway, yeah. So there's just so many cast of characters. And there's 24, so you'll never. I mean, I don't think you'll ever feel like you get to know really all of them, especially like the ones chopped at the first half.
Chopped.
But we quote it pretty regularly with whatever between the
Stevie.
If you want loyalty, get a dog. What's that?
With Stevie saying that.
With Stevie.
Yeah.
Or just Australian accents. We practice our Australian accents so much during this.
Should we do it?
I don't know if I can do it without like hearing. They go no.
Or nor.
Or no, mate.
Or nor.
Or no. Our one Australian friend, if we ever have her watch this, is going to be like, what the hell are you guys doing?
She won't watch it.
Oh, you never know.
She won't. Jeez. I'm calling you out. If you're watching this, thank you so much. But I'm calling you out right now. Or nor, I'm calling you out.
What else we say, too, is, why are you mad, though?
Why are you mad though?
Because very early on, this journalist, who I think his name is Michael, I can't even remember.
His name is Michael.
Struck up a rivalry that really did not exist with George, because he was like,
he was going around to everybody.
I know how I know how well George works, and you got to the final 2 of his season, and we need to take him out now and do a preemptive strike.
He wasn't wrong.
No, but his delivery was terrible. And he was so like paranoid and bringing it up so much that like people got kind of nervous and didn't want to do it. And George caught on to what was happening, and at tribal council goes over to Michael and says, "Why are you mad though?"
Why are you mad, Michael?
And then Michael's sitting there trying to be like, "I'm not mad. I'm having a great time." And he's like, his eyes are twitching and like he's like huffing or whatever. It's like
it looks like that teacher from Daria. Did you ever watch Daria?
No, I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I'm 90s scum.
It's fine. I'll show you later. He is this twitching mass of a man, like this like eyeball twitching. Yeah, that was Michael.
Yeah, and then he like really tried to play it off in his confessional when he got voted out, and he was like, "And I really wasn't mad and everything. It's just a game." I really
wasn't mad.
But you wouldn't be able to tell that he really thought it was just a game from the way he was acting. It was it was a lot. Did too much, Michael.
Michael was mad. Mad Michael.
He was mad, though.
We call him Mad Michael around here.
Do we? He was on for like 2 episodes.
Mad Michael.
Oh my God. Didn't even talk. All right.
What?
The premiere episode of this season is out of control. It is so wild. Because there is something, a challenge that I've never seen American Survivor do, and for good reason, where this one part of this big obstacle course is like you flip yourself over the barrel and you land in this shallow mud puddle.
Oh, God.
It's literally a mud puddle. I'm yelling, I don't care. It's a mud puddle. And
3 people, right? 2?
2, maybe 3. 2 badly. So George and this other person who was a returning player, you're supposed to like tuck really quick, like with the shape of the barrel, but it's still like this shallow thing. So they both land horribly wrong, and one player she fractures her collarbone, and King George has like just dripping blood from his forehead. And there was a concern that he had like broken his neck and stuff, because the way they show it, how they landed, and it's like, it's horrible. So a woman who broke her collarbone couldn't come back, but George did, and he rocked like what eventually became like a pretty cool looking bat signal scar. Yeah. Like it looked like, I'm actually very surprised with how it looked pretty fucked up healed. When he came back. Oh yeah. Oh.
It was gnarly.
This guy who's like crying in his confessional, like, I was worried about what I'd have to tell my mom about, if I had broken my neck or I couldn't move or whatever. And then he just starts laughing, and he's like, nah, I'm fine. I just have a concussion. It's like, you are out of your mind.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Johnny Fairplay, dead grandma stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, there's such a good crop of characters, and hopefully we didn't spoil it too much besides talking about like literally everything. But it is worth watching if you have. It took us like 4 months or so.
I don't know if it took us 4 months, but it felt like
there were episodes between 50 minutes and an hour and 20 minutes. That's, and there another was 24 thing too. Of them.
They weren't consistent like episode lengths.
No, that's why I want to ask Australia, what's the deal with
happening?
And well, no, I'm saying I think would have taken 4 months, maybe 3 months, maybe a little over 3 months, because that's like 2 episodes per day, per week. I mean,
yeah. So maybe it did.
It felt like a while. We are now watching season 3 of Survivor Africa, and we are like trucking along like no problem.
We're almost like
halfway. We're like almost halfway there.
We're almost like halfway through. We're like almost at the merge.
Yeah, the next episode's the halfway point, which is nuts. We finished 2 episodes, and it was like we started like 8 something, and it was like maybe 10, not even 10.
We did a third one. That's like unprecedented.
Oh, that's an option.
Holy shit.
So anyway, Australia make great content, but it's long, and some of us have pea brains in America.
That's me.
Me too. So, moral of the story: anything called Heroes versus Villains is not the season where you want to come down from a good, like a high octane season. We learned that. Oh. Also, simp for Shawnee. Do it. You won't regret it.
Shawnee.
And most importantly, if you want loyalty,
Get a dog. Bitch.
Justice for Stevie.
This is destiny, okay?
Oh, yeah. People kept trying to do this. Like, he has, like, some meditative thing where he makes a triangle with his fingers, And people were trying to exploit that to like get on his side and stuff for a vote. It was really icky. I don't like that. Icky.
So Australian Survivor, very good.
Awesome.
Watch it. It's. Oh wait. Last thing we'll say. Okay.
There's a lot to say. They're really just like over 3 months of a build up to talk about.
Jonathan is very, very, very good as a host.
Oh, JLP. Yes.
Very good.
Yes, he's very charismatic. He's just basically like a more burly Jeff Probst, I think.
He is.
He's still got that same enthusiasm, and he ends every tribal council with a pun, which is amazing. Just to do that on the spot.
And I think he's doing it on the spot too. Like I don't think he's being fed anything that I know of. But like
yeah, Jeff usually just gives like wise words and stuff, but I'll give an example. Yeah. This isn't actually what happened because I can't remember one unless you can.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's like if a poker player got voted out, he would turn to the tribe and be like, well, I guess the chips fell where they may have.
Yeah. Yes. Meanwhile, Jeff is out here being like, well,
if you can't trust someone who's in your alliance, who can you trust?
Yeah.
Head on back to camp.
Very easy.
Thanks, Jeff.
I guess you've learned that you can't make a fire when your wood is wet. Head back to camp.
Head back to camp.
Like shit like that, right?
I do miss it now though, because in the new seasons of Survivor, he doesn't say he doesn't give anything. He just says, "Grab your torches, head back to camp."
That sucks. Yeah. That sucks. No, come on, Jeff. You got to put a little more effort into this. Come on.
He's like 61.
Put effort into it, or give up.
I'm trying to think of who would be a suitable replacement for Jeff.
Oh man,
I can think of a couple, but we haven't gotten to their seasons yet. So.
Ooh, yes, somebody who was a contestant on the show should take over.
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
That's my thought with it. So.
That'd be awesome.
So anyway.
Okay. We'll.
Have you survived the Survivor talk?
I don't care. It was fun. It was a great experience. I love
Survivor's such a fun. I think there's a reason that people were binging this show. A lot of new fans came about from the quarantine process in 2020.
It's a great show.
When people weren't yelling at Tyra Banks that she race swapped models, they were binge watching Survivor.
Race swapped.
Yeah.
Now I don't know.
Ethnicity swap.
I didn't hear about this. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. So twice, 2 different seasons, like 8 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
Tyra had the women. It was for a Got Milk campaign, and they had them trade ethnicities. So, they made the white girl, an African woman with a fake afro, all overseen by Tyra Banks and stuff. They had a black girl be a Korean girl. They had a Hispanic girl be it's Icelandic, but it's just weird.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a white girl be an Indian girl, like from India, Indian girl.
Oh God.
I'm pretty sure that maybe they had somebody be Native American too, but yeah. And then same thing is that she decided 8 years later to concoct this thing where they are 2 different races. So it's like, you are Japanese and Nigerian, and it was literally this already Asian girl just getting slathered with like dark paint.
Oh God, she's just making them do blackface.
So yeah, and they're like, well, Tyra says it's okay, and they're like young, so it's like, I get it.
I learned it from Judy Garland.
We should talk about that too, maybe not. I don't know. I'll tie it into it. I'll bring it up later. Anyway, I forgot about that. But anyway, and especially if it's like a woman of color who is the one like saying what the challenge is going to be, it's like, okay, clearly she, this is okay or whatever. So anyway, people were pointing out many, many problematic things about America's Next Top Model. Meanwhile, Survivor was there, being unproblematic and
paving the way.
A good way. They were 40 seasons for people to binge. Like, it was literally the perfect for however long you need to like stay in your house quarantine binge show.
It's a good show where you're outside and you get to feel like you're outside.
Yeah, that's true. You get to like reminisce about what you used to have. God.
I remember
grass.
Leaves, grass and touching it.
You can still go outside your house, but
yeah.
But at what cost?
What cost?
Why are we here?
Chinese hoax virus. That's what it is.
Okay. All right. Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Did you know that I made one of... No, you want to finish your apology?
Oh, no. I'm sorry that it's so controversial to say that this is a Chinese hoax virus and that COVID isn't real.
This is a joke. He's joking. We both had COVID before.
Yeah, because the Chinese sent it over.
Okay, all right. You need to stop. Really, relax. You're at a 10. You take it down to a 2. Yeah, you good? Okay. I don't remember what I was gonna say. It doesn't matter anymore.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Anyway, so what about for the rest of the show? Well, we're gonna talk music.
Music.
Very exciting stuff. Like my favorite Survivor song, the Wayo song. The theme song.
I know it's Survivor theme, blah blah blah, but there's probably a name for it.
There definitely is. I don't know what the name is, but it's mostly just called Survivor theme.
The Wayo song.
Those are the only things I know are being I confidently know are being said in the song.
Wayo, wayo.
It's catchy. You'll catch yourself.
It's a bop.
Yeah, it is a bop.
For sure. All right, listen.
But for real with music.
But for real.
For real.
So why are we talking about this?
Well, I think one of the main common things that it also always comes up in any of our podcast episodes was music. Because we're both big into music and pretty open to nearly any sort of genre or artist or anything. So I like to think between the two of us, we have a pretty good, like, diverse, eclectic music. Like,
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So.
And
I think it's fun to talk about music. It's something that's always relevant.
It's mostly applicable to like everybody too. Like,
yeah.
Like most
people listen to music.
Most. Not everyone, and I know people who don't. I find it strange just because I'm like, man, it's just so good. Like, how could you not? But I.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm trying to shame anyone for
not
not listening.
But I also am a firm believer that unless you're like super sure you don't like music, I firmly believe there's something for everybody. So.
I think so.
I
think so. The only genre that I do not, and this is like, it probably goes without saying, it's like, I don't typically enjoy country music.
No.
Because it just seems so like inauthentic, and that's weird to say for somebody that likes pop music, because like a lot of it is kind of vapid and but I feel like there's just something weird about country music.
It's because it's being touted as like passionate music and stuff, and
it's being touted
from
as
the heart.
As like a type of music for a certain type of people. And I'm not saying that this is a tricky territory, because it's like, well, typically like a lot of the country songs that are out now, they sing about like one thing, and that's like patriotism and like trucks and shit, and that just isn't
parties.
Yeah, it just isn't very like gripping. Like,
you know what I found interesting though? I find that like I have the opposite sentiment for female country singers.
You like female country singers? You like
I feel like they're much more genuine with their music, and
sure.
It always feels like it is coming from the heart, and it's like not so like. There's always gonna be like vapid songs, like lyrics that are just like whatever
across all genres.
And about nothing. Yeah. But I feel like there's a lot less of those for female country singers.
Okay.
That's the vibe I get, but I think it's also because of the like 4 or 5 country singers I care for. Most of them are women, so.
Yeah. I would agree with that, just because I don't know too much about country music myself. The only country that I would probably consider listening to is like Johnny Cash. Sorry.
Sneeze, Dad.
Johnny Cash. Is he country or more like folk?
Yeah, kind of folky.
Okay, so we'll say Willie Nelson.
I knew you were gonna say Willie Nelson.
Well, yeah, he's awesome.
Do you know he's 90?
I did not know he's 90.
It's because he's looked the same since he turned 60. Like
pretty much.
All that's happened is his hair's gotten lighter.
Yeah,
but
he's doing good.
He is. It's probably all that sweet grass that he smokes.
Touching.
Oh, lights up.
Touching.
So Willie Nelson, yeah, he's one of the ones.
Dolly Parton.
Shania Twain. Carrie Underwood for me.
I don't know anything besides the one song that she has.
The one song is enough. Like, even if it's just like, I will stay until the one song comes up and then I'll leave.
Sure.
She doesn't, whatever.
It's a great song.
Yeah. So oddly enough, who else I would put in there?
Let's hear it.
Rascal Flatts.
Life is a highway. I want to ride it.
And they also did I actually can't remember if it was a cover that
or
they
original?
took from Cascada or if Cascada took it from Rascal Flatts, which is What Hurts the Most.
Oh. Okay.
I don't remember who did it first, but
that's a great song too.
It is, and I like both versions a lot. So it seems to be if Rascal Flatts just covers a song, I'm pretty down for it.
Yeah.
But they seem like fun in an authentic way.
Sure.
You know? So I
agree.
And I feel like country music, like most music is, but country music is also pretty dependent on like live shows, because like it's one thing to be recording about this and us feeling like the recording is not genuine, but maybe if we like saw and listened to it in person, it would be more, you'd get to see more of like the soul bearing or whatever. But we'll never know, because I don't really have an interest in going to see country people. Sorry.
I don't. Like, to me, it's not relatable. Maybe they feel the same way about, like, hip-hop or whatever, right?
It might have, yeah. I think where you grew up maybe has to.
Yeah.
And neither of us are you're from, like, a different South.
Well, one, my family's from New York.
I know. I meant, like,
like
where you grew up and where music, like,
right.
was formative to you.
A lot of country down the South, but
not
in
where
Florida?
Yeah, no, yeah, you're
not
a different
where I
part of
was.
the South for
South Florida.
The formative years.
Yeah. So yeah, never really in me for that. I don't think I heard country music or that I knew until I was much older. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
This sure is music.
Yeah, this sure is something.
This is the most music I've ever heard.
Yeah. Wow, this is something. It's just gonna keep going.
It sure is a song.
Shania Twain was probably like one of the first.
Oh my god, I love Shania Twain.
Let's go, girls. Dun, dun, dun,
because she made that like, and that was one of those ones where it wasn't so like, I'm gonna say achy breaky heart. I don't really mean it, but like for women's songs, like she was literally like, I feel like a woman, or you know, whatever. And she, you know, she wanted to have a little fun, and even like her ballady stuff was so good. I think it was just this really good mix of like country pop.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby.
And anytime I think of like country singers like her or Faith Hill, I just think of hit clips.
I had the listen. I had the only hit clip. Oh my god.
You've talked about this.
I'm gonna say it again.
It's worth repeating. So
okay, a friend of my mom's knew that I liked music a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And she saw the hit clips, and they came in. The player that I got was like the little boombox.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So it wasn't that cool robot that you have that
you
gave
have.
me.
Yeah. You have
which
it.
I still have.
Good. You can't find those anymore.
You can't. And it played Faith Hill's "Breathe," and I know exactly where it started from. Like it was like the beginning of like the chorus.
Do you get like triggered when that you just there's this visceral like chill down your spine or something? I think that female country singers are great singers. And
they are awesome singers usually.
Meanwhile, from a young age, I have like my grandparents listened to country and stuff. It's like one pair of grandparents listened to jazz and one pair of grandparents listened to country. So, pretty eclectic. But
used to be kind of like I don't know, like bass too. Like it used to be like I'm running away from the law because like they're a bunch of fucks. Like
yeah.
You know, like it had that feel to it. And now it's like. Just this, like, I don't know, Blue Lives Matter
Shake
fucking
that
parade.
Talk, ba-dunk-a-dunk.
Oh,
yeah,
crazy.
try that in a small town.
Remember when I said they were going to play a song and then they did?
Yeah.
I forgot what song was. Oh, Rock Me Like a Wagon Wheel.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, they're just going to play Wagon Wheel.
So, yeah, my family, most of them really like country, but I kind of knew from a young age, I was like, anytime a man came on, I was like, my grandparents had a little stereo that would like play the name of the song and the artist. Very high tech. And I would see it, and I remember thinking like, Tim McGraw sounds a lot like this other guy or whoever, and I'm like,
yep,
these all sound the same.
Brooks and Dunn.
I am country deaf, I guess. It's like tone deaf, except
it's just not for me.
But I respect it for the hustle at least, and I respect the women.
The hustle, respect women.
Respect women.
There we go. So anyways, aside from country, I like a lot of things. Like I like a ton of shit.
Yes.
When I was growing up, my mom.
Chug, chug, chug.
When I was growing up, my mom used to play a lot of salsa music and shit like that. A lot of Spanish, Latin sounds. And I didn't like it when I was a kid. I'm like, this is lame. Like this. I love it now.
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like it's great. It's got so much rhythm. It's got so much like soul to it.
Is that because of your musical ear now, or do you think that maybe you did have some sort of like little nostalgia part of your brain locking that away?
Yeah, no, I think that's what it was too. My brain recognizes that it's good now.
Yeah.
But I think I just wanted so far to be like, man, this is lame. Like I just, like your parents like something and you're naturally going to be like, well, this is lame. Like, this is ruined now. But no, shit slaps. It's great. I didn't used to like reggaeton.
Okay.
I'm not a huge reggaeton person now, but like I'll listen to it. It's good. So that's my spiel.
It's a good spiel.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's always good to try to open yourself up to new styles of music. There's like just this problem that you're always going to have where it's like you only have so much time on this earth and you can't consume as much music as you want to. I find that a constant problem. I have so many things I want to listen to, but like there's literally not enough time in the day, or like it's not the right setting, or I'm not in like the right kind of music mood or whatever. Those all play into it too. But yeah, I hate that sort of feeling. It's like that eHarmony commercial where it's the woman who's like, I love cats. I just want to hug every cat.
I don't remember ever seeing that. Holy shit.
Yeah, oldie. This is
oldie but a goodie.
I'm a boomer. But yeah, I think it's good to open yourself to those kinds of musical styles. I used to steal my not steal because I'd give them back, but I used to steal my dad's CDs, and I learned a lot about a different like such eclectic music. I heard Faith No More, the song
Grunge.
Epic, Grunge. Yep. I heard Sublime. I became a huge fan of Sublime from stealing my dad's albums, CDs. I shouldn't say albums. They weren't on like vinyl or anything. AC/DC, Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
There was one more. I think they're called Blind Melon. Maybe they're the one who do the Bumblebee.
Yes, that's
that
Blind
one.
Melon.
Yeah. So like very, very eclectic stuff. Meanwhile, I also was like a little teeny bopper who liked Britney Spears and Aaron Carter and Backstreet Boys. So eclectic in a different way. Eclectic in maybe a more like New Englander way.
I think it's very, very good to be open to a lot of things because there's just so much out there. And I don't know, man. My thing is if it sounds good, like I'm probably gonna listen to it. Like I don't care if it's like from a different country or I can't understand it. Like it doesn't bother me. Like,
and I think if anything, the very few quote unquote foreign songs that make it in America are like it's a showing of what we are leaving out of like American mainstream, like I guess radio play, even though radio's kind of dying, but
radio's dead.
Maybe. Because the only consistent non-English music that plays is like any sort of like Latin music, usually to dedicated channels and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you don't hear a lot of different languages ever. Meanwhile, you go to like Asia, you go to Europe, you go to South America, and they are playing like any language because, like you said, they just like what sounds good, and they're not like trying to deep dive into lyrics like Genius.com or anything. So
there's a place for that too, though. That's a good thing, I think.
Oh yeah, lyrics are definitely good, and I like kind of, being able to kind of understand too. But it's not gonna deter me from listening to other stuff if I don't understand it.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
So you are very into music, probably like just as much as I am. Like I really, really enjoy it, and I think that like probably you're like right there in the same level, and it's awesome because I don't typically meet a lot of people that are very open. Like they're open, but maybe they have their hard stop somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to be able to talk to you about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks. Do you remember the first song or like the first song that you heard where you're like, yeah, this is good? Like you made that decision?
Just in life?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know that a lot of like my core memories are from things I would see every day too. So like theme songs of shows and stuff like that. We're starting like very, very basic.
Okay.
Although there are some people who made some really good theme songs, like for the Proud Family or like All That or something. I'm just saying there's some legitimate pieces of music that are theme songs. So.
Yeah, like All That, Kenan and Kel, like that. That's a theme song.
Coolio, Rip the Legend.
Fucking great.
But as for like an artist that I like,
yes,
outside of like a kids show, I really don't remember. Might be Spice Girls.
Good answer.
I think it might be. That's my first like. I'm sure there's probably more before that, but that's my first clear one was Spice Girls.
Okay, yeah, you're right around the age where that. Because I
was like 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Young.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. What about you? Throw the question back at you.
Sure. Mine, I know exactly what mine was. It was MC Hammer.
Really?
It was Can't Touch This by MC Hammer.
Nice.
It was I like have distinctive memories of like that song coming on the radio, and like I had the cassette. Mm-hmm. I had his album on a cassette.
Yeah.
And I would like play this shit. Like I would skip the other songs because I didn't like them.
Oh, the Curse of the One Hit Wonder.
And it's like he had other hits too, but nothing like that
on that level. No.
But like I just remember that song and just being like obsessed with it.
Was it just listening to the song, or did you also see the music video?
At the time, I don't think I'd seen the music video.
I was gonna say it had a catchy dance, so it would be appealing to kids.
I danced.
They would just hammer dance all over the house.
I probably did do that. Like it had to be everywhere, so I probably saw it. But I had like a little like a very 90s outfit, like a very like color blocked.
Oh, we bring back color
outfit.
blocking.
They are now.
Good.
A lot of fashion is
cyclical.
Yeah.
Good.
But that's like I can remember being in that outfit and being like 3 years old or 4 years old and like hearing that song and really, really loving it and being like, yeah, music is good. Like I like this. This is good. So also theme songs too. But that's my first clear memory of an artist.
Yeah. That's a very clear memory. So much more clear than mine. I'm just like, so. But I think where you grow up and like who you surround yourself with also have a big impact on like what kind of music you end up growing up with. Yeah. Or like what you're exposed to. Because like from talking to you, you were exposed to a lot more like rap and hip hop than I was. But you were also exposed more to like uncensored versions than I was, because I wasn't.
Oh yeah. So the first couple years, like I had to get the censored stuff, and then like because I remember getting the like the Marshall Mathers our Marshall Mathers LP. Yeah. But it was the censored version because I bought it from Kmart.
Oh yeah.
And it had a different cover.
Oh.
It had like a different album cover, and they would censor some words like fuck, but they wouldn't censor the word shit. Oh. And I thought that was weird.
I kind of had the opposite problem with censored Eminem CDs, which was like every single thing, everything that wasn't damn or hell was censored. Everything. Like, like ass, pissed off, or whatever.
Where'd you get that CD from? Holy shit.
I don't remember. My mom would buy
them.
Damn. Yeah. So that's why, like, even now, like, as a 31-year-old adult, quote unquote adult, I hear the uncensored versions of Eminem songs if they pop up on like my shuffle, and I'm like, I didn't know he said that. That feels weird. Like I'm like a think about the children, like Simpsons sort of meme. Like, except I'm the children. It's me. Hello. I'm the children. It's me.
But you bring up a good point too. Like a lot of people start out with a certain type of music that they might be raised in. Yeah. Because, it's cultural or whatever. But not a lot of people are willing to go outside of that, though. Yeah. Is what I find usually. Like, it's like they're not willing to listen to a different genre. Yeah. Or, I don't know, maybe they just don't want to. Mm-hmm. But.
Which is why I think having a more eclectic sense of music, or if, you like what you like, whatever, but it's also like, I feel like music is such a big deal, and sensory stuff and children developing. I would want to try to have them listen to a broader range of music,
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And we don't put a lot of importance into it.
I don't want to like have the pigeonhole them and have it be like, I like rock, so you like rock. What's pop? Doesn't exist in this household. That's a dirty word and keep it outside. It's like, that's selfish and weird.
Very strange. You know what I found as I got older?
What's
for music? When I was a kid, it was always a trope on TV, or like people would say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Disco sucks, right? You know what I found lately? Disco fucking rules.
Disco, like fashion trends, are also making a comeback.
It's everywhere now because you have artists. Not only just K-pop stuff, which it's getting really big in K-pop now.
Well, because disco was in the Dua Lipa song for the Barbie soundtrack.
Dua Lipa is a big, like, she has a lot of songs that are popular, and they're basically disco songs.
Yeah,
like,
which is great.
Which is awesome.
I love that for her. And for me, listening.
It's a great music. Like,
they're taking, like, one popular thing from each, like, decade, I think. So there's, like, 70s disco, and then there's 80s, like, synths. There's a lot of like synthy songs out there. The Weeknd is an example of that. And then the 90s, this is mostly in K-pop, but I've noticed a lot of them are tending to do like the whole like record scratch yeah, the record scratch trend of the 90s, like Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
And not just them. Run DMC. See?
Yes.
A diverse portfolio.
There you go.
But what's horrible though is
you said one that was white and one that was black. You balance it out.
I don't know any other. Don't do this to me. I don't know. Listen, I grew up in New England.
I'm complimenting you. You're
okay,
fine.
Thank you.
Good.
I don't know what I was talking about now. That's okay.
Record scratch.
The record scratch. Yeah, I did one of each, and I don't remember what I was saying before that. But that's okay. Oh, I remember.
You did it.
Hey, so I only learned, it's this horrible. I learned about Rev Run of Run DMC through Run's House on MTV.
Yes.
I didn't know Run DMC before that, so
I don't think a lot of people your age, my age, would have. I mean, we probably knew.
I know
who they
that
were.
one song.
Like I wasn't binging Run DMC records, right? Because he just was a little bit before my time. But I knew he was. I knew some songs. Yeah. I know he had that joint song with Aerosmith.
Yes, that's the second one I remember. But I was like, that it's tricky. I know that one. I feel like
it's tricky.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But yeah,
I think it's important to expose yourself and, you know.
I think it's easier than ever now to kind of get exposed to anything that you want.
Oh, yeah.
When we were growing up, if you wanted to listen to something, you had to buy it.
Or you could borrow it from a totally legal site named after a citrus fruit.
Yes, you could do that. Could do that.
Just a thought.
Just a thought. But like even before that was possible, like you either had to buy it or you had to find somebody that would, you know, like have a bootleg.
Yeah. Oh, the burn CDs.
And the burn CDs too.
Good times. I have many a burn CD.
Like that. Like I don't know, man. That the feeling of like making a burn CD is awesome. Or it was.
I know. I have so many old ones, old burned ones.
Discard them. I don't need them.
I put so much time doing Sharpie designs on them.
What? You did Sharpie designs on them?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I like color coded them and everything.
I was not that creative. I just was like, yeah, this is this.
And then I would take a fine point Sharpie and I would write every single song on the CD.
You were dedicated, dude. Holy shit.
That dedicated is like the nicest word that could
You were
have been
dedicated.
said.
Damn. Okay.
So I take my CD burning very seriously and I don't want to give them up, even though I haven't burned a CD since I was like 15. So.
You want to know what though?
What?
Something that our kids not gonna understand. Like they're just not gonna get it.
There's so many terms that do not make sense now for the way kids know them. Like rolling down your windows. There's no rolling.
I know.
Hanging up the phone. You're clicking a button. And most don't have a button. It's just the screen.
The touch screen now. Yeah.
But they're just idioms that we say now because it's like, what do you call it? I guess you could say, you know, put down the window or end the call. But that's not the same really effect. Boring.
Not the same effect, man. It's kind of like that dumb Jerry Seinfeld joke where he's like, when you get angry, like you can't slam the phone anymore. Like you just click it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I think that's like one of 4 Seinfeld things I've seen.
I don't know. It's just him being a boomer.
Technology? What's that?
What's the deal with 5G?
Okay, well, I really don't. I understand it's not like the satellites and the towers haven't caught up to the phones, but I hate 5G. It's so slow and annoying. But I understand.
Know that it activates the COVID virus in your cells?
All right, we need to stop going down this line.
Because of...
Do you want to be taken off the internet? Do you know that for our, like, when I talked about, I made a tag on one of our older videos that said,
COVID is fake?
What? No. Oh my God, please stop. You're so chaotic for no reason. It was called, like, Tory got COVID or something.
Yeah.
And I was talking about how I got COVID. And now there's, like, this little bumper of, like, COVID-19 safety and information if you go to our video, because the word COVID is somewhere, like, in the description.
Oh, God.
So, meanwhile, I'm not giving any sort of factual advice or anything. I'm literally just like, I got COVID and I ate spicy ramen. Haha. Very, groundbreaking stuff. So, anyway.
I don't believe in COVID.
Okay, please stop. You're going to get us in trouble.
Listen, I just had somebody tell me this.
Why? What? Who?
I was at work.
That you're going to get somebody in trouble. Go ahead.
I won't say anymore. I'll tell you off air. How about that?
Ooh, keeping secrets from the listeners. Very nice.
Zip, zip.
Anyway, back to music.
Back to music and not COVID.
Yes.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
You okay? You gonna make it?
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right, good.
Canceled.
Lewis is over party.
It's over for me.
Let's go.
Get me while you can. Music. So it's a big part of my life. It always has been. Like I've always loved it. Mm-hmm. I'm not one that has always been like very, very vocal. I don't like talking to many people, or I didn't anyways. Like I've gotten better,
reformed,
but I've always had like I know what I like. Mm-hmm. I know what's good, and I know that's subjective, right?
Yeah.
But I can usually, I think I'm pretty good at like reading a room and being like, oh yeah, this is good. I can put this on.
Yes. Oh yeah. So if you like it, chances are other people, majority will like it. Yeah. I think so too.
And I don't know, man. It just kind of like, a friend told me this recently. He's like, oh yeah, we're playing some rhythm game, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm really good at this game, but like it's like your soul, like you feel it pretty deeply. Like I guess it really resonates with me. Like just not even as like a general thing, but just it's kind of like part of who I am, and it's pretty cool. And I had never had anyone say that to me, and it was like, damn, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
that was neat.
And so there's fits like that with any sort of piece of art, I think. So
right.
Like some stuff just resonates with your soul more.
It is.
And there's so much of it in the world that like opinions are great because no one should, but no one can ever tell you have the wrong opinion of what you prefer musically or any sort of arts.
Unless they do, because they go on Twitter.
What's that?
Because they go on. I'm not calling it that.
I know, I'm not either.
I'm not.
No,
Twitter.
We talked about this last time too.
It's Twitter, right?
Yeah, it's
Twitter.
Every news outlet always goes X parentheses formerly known as Twitter.
So dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think being diverse is a good thing. I know a lot of people don't do it. I know it's a big thing that K-pop fans struggle with, and
it's to a certain extent. But a lot of us are like, I'm not gonna say reformed because we were fine before, but we are like hardcore like rock or metal heads. Mm-hmm. And a lot, like there was a K-pop band that covered Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. Seems so random because they are like owned by an idol company, they're a major rock band. And a bunch of comments were like, oh my god, this is taking me back to like my teenage years or my childhood or something. And it's like, don't you listen to K-pop? So it's just it goes to show how like,
don't you listen to K-pop?
Yeah, I can't listen to both. I'm bi-musical.
Ooh.
I'm pan-musical.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
There you go.
I think you really, like, if you like a song and it's not your normal thing that you like, that just means that you've shown you can expand your horizons, so you don't have to stick with one certain thing, like even if it's your comfort sort of music, because there's so much out there. There's
stuff out there that I've found that I'm like, wow, I didn't even know this existed. Like, I don't know, you kind of get into your own bubble sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's easy to stay there.
Yeah.
So
there's a comfort with it too, though. I do agree, and I do like that, because most songs that I end up liking are ones that I find comforting in some way. I just have a lot of different varieties of comfort.
You're talking to the guy listened to Twice's I Can't Stop Me 236 times in a single year.
Listen, they couldn't stop you.
It's true.
So
they couldn't.
They couldn't.
They couldn't. They won't.
And they won't. But the problem too is this is gonna be like, I guess this is the K-pop corner, I guess, because I'm tying this back into real world event things that happen regarding music.
Real world event things that happen regarding music.
Oh my god, I hope that all fits in the intro of the K-pop corner. But Lewis and I went on to, it's called Twitter. I don't care what you say, Elon. We went on to Twitter the other day and saw a bunch of like capitalized trending terms trending, such as like BTS apologized to Muslims, or what were you seeing? Because I was seeing Blackpink apologize to Muslims.
I was seeing Blackpink first.
Yeah.
That's when I first saw. And then I was seeing BTS apologized to Muslims, and I was also saying some other shit about BTS, but it was unrelated to the Muslim thing.
Usually you can tell it's BTS fans if the trending term is all in caps.
It was like apologize to Jungkook.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
So anyway, yeah, why did they need to apologize to Muslims?
Why?
Yes, I'm gonna pass this to you.
So,
co-anchor of the K-pop corner.
Thank you. I'm honored. I don't know if I have the story right. You can correct me, okay?
Yeah.
Because I think you know the whole story, right?
Yeah.
You still want me to go?
No, I'll go, and then because you can explain one part better than I can.
Sure.
So, one day RM of BTS innocuously just does an Instagram story of a Frank Ocean song called Bad Religion. Suddenly he has been bombarded with people saying that he posted an Islamophobic song and that he should apologize to all Muslims for the cultural insensitivity.
Okay.
Now I'm passing it to you.
Cool. So I've never heard the song Bad Religion because I'm not a Frank Ocean fan, but doesn't mean like I won't listen to it. So I'm going to pull up the lyrics of Bad Religion and we'll go through it. Not line by line, just a little bit.
Just the important part. There's one part.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise it's a pretty,
it's standard
song.
So let me see.
And for the record, I don't know why Blackpink apologized to Muslims. Because some like bratty Blackpink fans on Twitter were saying like they were just bashing RM for no real reason. So then ARMY BTS fans turned it around on Blackpink fans and found an Instagram story that someone from Blackpink had also posted of this song, so then they started doing Blackpink apologize to Muslims. Then they dug up a 13-year-old tweet from G-Dragon of him retweeting a different Frank Ocean song in 2012 with people now saying apologize to Muslims. Dude hasn't used Twitter for like 4 years.
God damn.
Like he's not like it got way too deep and way too annoying and whatever.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like, so, and I think that's what we're gonna get into.
Yeah.
Kind of is this song. So this is the chorus, right?
Okay.
It says, he said, Allahu Akbar. I told him, don't curse me. Bobo, you need prayer. I guess it couldn't hurt me. If it brings me to my knees, it's a bad religion. Okay, so I think a lot of people took this, like they heard it, and they took this to be, this is the part in question, I think. Where they're like, oh yeah, it's Islamophobic, it's it's against Muslims, all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's what's happening here. Okay. Yeah, there's stuff in here relating to Islam. Muslims, all that kind of stuff. But I don't think it was done intentionally to be Islamophobic.
No, it seems more like it is a metaphor.
Yeah, it's
because he's gay. No, I'm not out.
Yeah, he's struggling with that.
Yeah.
Like in this song, that's what the song is about. He's like having a hard time dealing with that in society and how he's treated. And so he's in this like taxi, and he's talking to the driver who is, I guess, Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like trying to be like, you need God, you need religion. And, and he's like, I don't need that. And like, it's not going to help me if I do have religion, because it's kind of the cause of my issues.
Mm-hmm. And
he's like, if it brings me to my knees, it's a bad religion, which I think people took to be Islamophobic too, because it's like, well, they do the prayer, right?
Mm-hmm.
They pray like 5 times a day.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have to explain the intricacies of
the innuendo.
Yeah, and being a gay man.
So,
but
if you want to get context, just hover over the gray parts on genius.com for the lyrics.
It's just him being like, oh, if it brings me to my knees, which is what he's insinuating, that he's gay, it's a bad religion. And I think he's trying to juxtapose that with the fact that like America sees, the West in general sees Islam as like a bad religion.
Yeah.
Like it only breeds terrorists.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's what's happening. Like
no.
I don't think he's doing this, or sorry, this song is older.
Yeah.
He didn't do this in order to be like disrespectful or hateful. He's just drawing a pretty strong parallel.
Yeah. And so also, like, why are we getting mad at like literally people whose first language is not English listening to this song and posting it on a story that lasts like only 24 hours anyway?
I think RM probably has pretty good English knowledge, right?
Yes, but like I don't know about like as far as innuendo or like entendre and stuff like that. He learned English when watching Friends, so I don't know how much innuendo was in Friends, but
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm saying, like, even if he did know that, right?
He's also a representative of UNICEF, and they spoke at the UN, so
yeah, like he's a musician, and I think he understands the context of the song, and that's
but like
big
on a musical level.
Yeah, because he understands like how music is written, and like music isn't always like A to B. It's not a straight journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes it's embellished or it's imaginative. That's the fun of it, right?
Yes.
And there's context to things. Like for example, when Kendrick released his album last year, right?
Yep.
He got a lot of shit for that song Auntie Diaries, even though like there was a reason he was saying what he was saying in the song. And it wasn't just so he could get away with it. Like, no, it was artistic. It was done tastefully. I've talked to trans people about this song. It doesn't, like, they understand context for the most part. Yes,
context is very important. And that's what makes the difference between it being something that sounds literal that you should take literal, or that sounds maybe not so literal that you should just not take literal. Or understand it in the confines of like the time period or the circumstance. I know it's I think it was Jisoo from Blackpink, and she knows the least English, so definitely like it's like also I feel they all listen to songs on like a very, you know, like I do for K-pop, listen on a very base like this sounds nice level, not necessarily I identify with the lyrics level. So
true,
but people are not, they don't take in certain accounts. I don't think everything really is so black white like they make it to be.
It usually never is, unless it's like somebody that you know is like intentionally being hurtful.
Oh yeah. But most times it's like it could be.
It's a dumb mistake, like Chaeyoung with the fucking like the swastika thing, right? Yeah. Like that was stupid, but it was also like she didn't go into that trying to be
right. And there's an argument about for K-pop people, it's like, well, they're
symbol.
Well, no, because I don't know how many actually know about the symbol. When they think of that symbol, they think, because I know Japan does, they think of the, I forget how do you pronounce it, but it's the Buddhist symbol.
Okay.
Reversed. Because they use it on a bunch of shrines and stuff in Japan.
They do, yeah.
Oh, I used to know what the name of it was.
I'm sorry. I used to know it too.
But that's okay. Anyway, so I'm not sure about Korea, but I completely lost track of what I was saying.
They have a thing with the rising sun.
Yes, because
like, that's way more worse for them.
That's like
right?
their swastika.
Yeah.
So everything, but meanwhile, the rest of the world, like really truly, like I didn't know that until later. That in the context of like how it's seen for certain people. Like I wore a rising sun hat on one of my YouTube videos, and then somebody was like,
"You shouldn't do that."
Yeah, that's like Japanese World War II, like Confederates or whatever.
I mean, we're all ignorant until we're not. So
right.
Like,
so people always I remember what I was gonna say. People were gonna say like, in the time of like the internet and everything, that they should have known better, but it's also like there's so much, like music, there's so much history and
sure,
like wars that we've never even heard of and symbolisms that we've never even seen, like and even for those that seem like a plain new or a plain fact to us, they could be new to somebody else, and so I don't think it should just be like, oh, they should have known better.
Yeah,
I think there's context that's needed for that too. So
I agree, and context is key in everything. I think it's a big deal, especially when something like this is being said about somebody. Like, oh yeah, they're just a piece of shit because of this. It's like,
yeah,
you didn't bother to get the whole scope of things. You just kind of.
But the thing is too, is like this sort of stuff is so fast moving that I do understand why like it's not really possible to get the full scope of certain things sometimes. It's just a tough situation, but I think people are so quick now to like immediately write this off as like,
yeah,
there was no other way they couldn't have known, or
sure.
Whatever. And it's never to defend what they did. It's just like we shouldn't be literally not giving them any sort of chance to like learn from it just because of one thing. If it's a continuous thing, that's like,
it's a different story.
Yeah. But so all in all, I don't think that anybody's Islamophobic, quite frankly. I don't know Frank Ocean very well, but I didn't even mean to do that.
Good job.
Thanks. I don't know if anybody's actually Islamophobic. I don't think anybody is. I don't think Frank Ocean is, but I don't know him that well. So.
Oh yeah, he's an Islamophobe. I just wanted to.
Oh, is he?
No, I'm kidding.
What the hell, dude? Oh my god, I was ready to believe you.
Is he?
I was ready to believe you. Rude.
No, I don't think that's the case. Like I said, I think it's a case of
I
BTS.
Just made this whole thing defending. Yeah, I think it was just a matter of BTS posting a song they liked.
BTS posting a song they like, and people just maybe not.
It's not
taking the time to know what's going on, and for God's sakes, use your fucking like. There's context for a reason. Like, not everything is surface level, especially with art.
Right.
It's not surface level.
There's no such thing as safe art.
True.
So.
True.
And it's kind of funny how some songs were considered so controversial, and now it's like, wow,
like
they had a point or something.
Oh, like Sinead O'Connor, right? Recently.
Yeah, Sinead O'Connor. Hers wasn't the song, and more just like her. Well, it's more performance. But yeah, it's still art. So performative art, where she tore up the picture of the Pope and said, "Fight the real enemy," and everybody was all mad. Even like non-Catholics and stuff were mad and stuff, which was
she like got banned from SNL.
Forever. Yeah. And then
good for her.
But then people were being mad because a lot of people were being like, wow, she was really ahead of her time, and it's like, wow, that would have been great for you to tell her in the early 90s when this happened, like, so
I know.
And certain things too, like, or for the actual song one, like Baby It's Cold Outside, that's now been seen as like the worst, like, non-consensual sort of like Christmas song. But I've seen people try to like put context around it for that doesn't actually mean he's like kind of forcing her to stay. But I've also taken it as it's a product of its time. Like, it's literally that's what was okay and what happened in, like, I'm assuming what, 40s, 50s?
Gee, what's 60? In this drink?
Yeah. But yeah.
That's a weird line.
It is, but like couched in the context of it coming out 50, 60 years ago, that wasn't such a weird, like, that's not to excuse it, but that's not.
Let's argue on that one, okay? Or not, maybe not argue.
Okay.
But, like, when she's saying, say what's in this drink, it's very easy to be like, oh, she's, like, saying that he's slipped something in there, right? But I think mostly it's her drinking something and getting lightheaded and being like, oh, God, what is this?
I was thinking of it as, like, just too much alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, but it's not as fun to say that. It's more fun to say that it's a creep song.
Some people like try to put it also that part as a positive and be like, she thinks it's really good and wants to know what's in it, like ingredients. It's like, oh,
okay. I think that's pushing it a little too far. Like that's taking a lot of liberty.
But yeah, now it's a controversial song to play because
I don't think it's that controversial. Like it's the most
during
famous.
Christmas, like Christmas time though. I feel like I hardly hear that one.
I don't care for the song that much, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just using that as an example of an overall.
No. What I'm saying is, whether it's played or not has no effect on me, because I don't really love the song. But I don't think it's any worse than some of the shit that's out there.
Yeah.
Like there's worse shit out there.
Oh yeah.
It's not that bad. I know it's kind of weird, some of the shit that he says, and that what's in that drink line is kind of weird.
But I don't know. The context of it matters. It's like, I guess, yeah, it doesn't hold up. I guess it's just like, play it or don't play it. I don't know if like we need to go and modify every song that suddenly is not PC for the 2020 times.
The 2020 times.
2020 times. I don't know why I said it like that.
It was funny.
I think context really does matter. And to sidetrack a little bit from music, I am going to talk about the Judy Garland thing.
What?
So, amongst all the BTS Blackpink stuff that had been trending, also Judy Garland was trending. And that was because somebody had dug up, they put 2 pictures of Judy Garland in a tweet and said that she did whatever the movie was called in blackface a year before she did Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. And people were very quick to defend Judy Garland. They would retweet it and say stuff like, you know, how she really had a horrible, like, she was heavily, like, abused and drugged.
She died of an overdose.
As a child. Yeah, and tried to commit suicide multiple times. But she was very vocal about civil rights and donated to causes. So I guess if she was cognizant of how wrong it was for her to do blackface then, she was trying to, you know, let it be known that that's not how she felt. I say now, but like her. She's
now. Also a child star, and I saw the point brought up that like they kind of just did whatever because like I don't know. Because
she's a literal child.
She's a child, and they just told her to do it. So
there's only so much power that children have in an industry like that when you're talking about like the 30s, like 30s, 40s.
Yeah, she was younger, so like
young.
She didn't really understand what was going. Like I know that it seems dumb. Like she should understand, but maybe she didn't.
That was also considered, like, we hate to think of it, but it was also considered not out of the norm. Yeah, it was like within the scope of normal.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what it is.
But she was certainly not the first or last to do that anyway, because it was so like, I'm gonna like comparatively commonplace, because now you never see it, unless you're a pig. So. But what I mean is, like, she had no agency over it. She was surrounded by imagery that told her, like, reassured. There was nothing that would alarm her to think that it was bad. And yet people were making this. By the way, Judy Garland's dead. She's been dead. It's been decades. She's not around anymore. So, like, if you wanted a Twitter, like, a tweet longer, like, apology thing written out by her,
you're not going to get one.
Out of luck. And context really plays an important role in A, that she's dead, B, that this happened in the time that, like I said, it was normalized, and C, that it's not, it was like her age and her situation and everything. So was it bad that she did it? Yes, but it wasn't like, it was, I think it's more of an example of like the harshness of Hollywood in that time period, rather than it being like Judy Garland's a racist or whatever.
Judy Garland starred in The Wizard of Oz in what, like the 30s or some shit?
Yeah.
Like really, really early.
Yeah.
So she did that a year before. So like it's like a 70, 80-year-old piece of media that like, I don't know, man. People like find shit online nowadays, and you're just like, oh, look at this. Like, you can never look at this ever again because it's like, this person's a horrible person. There's no context.
Sometimes I swear the same.
And I want to sound like a boomer, by the way.
That's fine. Sometimes I swear the same like Today I Learns pop up and people get outraged, and it's like it comes up every like 5 years. It's like I've seen this. I know you all have seen this. Like this is not new. It's funny how that sort of thing works where people just like discover things, but the context of there's so much that you need to take into contextually. Like, it's horrible to see this child in blackface makeup, absolutely, but like there are I don't know, there are mitigating circumstances with why such a thing was allowed to happen. So I thought the whole reason it was trending was really stupid, and
it was dumb.
I'm glad she was not alive to have to
deal with
witness people being really stupid. So it's all we could do is keep learning from history, right? So
true,
especially if the perpetrator is dead anyway. So like, really, like what did they want? I don't know what the end goal here was.
Like, no, she's canceled now. Like, this can't be real. It cannot be real.
It's why if there's ever a reasonable equivalent to Twitter, I may jump ship. So maybe the crazy people will stay there.
I want what's forbidden.
Hey, do you guys know how many freaking remixes of the Eve and Bluebeards, whatever the hell it's called?
Kind of all over the place with this music shit, huh? Damn.
A little bit. There's like 7 remixes.
7
to
remixes.
Varying degrees of success.
Well,
but anyway, so censorship in music. You brought up Boom, and I lost track of my brain.
That's fine. So
yeah,
you wanted to segue into the Judy Garland thing because it was kind of on the same basis of not having context
for Frank. Yeah, same thing with like Frank Ocean, or same thing with just music in general that is older, or like a more modern version, which actually did not take long at all to age. Like Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas. Like, when the not started version came out, like, I think it was on the cusp. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was on the cusp of like the R word being not okay to say.
Yeah.
I just remember not wanting to shout, "Let's get da-da-da." It's like just not out loud. No, thank you. So
let's get
da-da-da. R. Yeah,
R.
So. But yeah, I mean, there's so many versions even happening now of songs that, or so many examples of different songs that make a not very politically correct choice. I think one of the most recent ones I heard, which it was in a Beyonce song, and it had the word spaz in it, and people were saying, which I actually didn't know this, that it's like maybe not okay to say. Or like not okay to say is like a way to compare someone to like going crazy or whatever. So she changed it, which was great.
Words are cyclical.
Yes.
Language is
We're
rotating.
reclaiming. I mean, some really bad words are being reclaimed all the time. Not all the time, but I know like the most recent one is queer, because if you called someone a queer, it's like,
oh my god,
whoa. But if you identify as queer, it's like taking power back.
It
sort
is.
of. Although I kind of still feel weird about it.
Queers.
Yeah, because of the way that they're used here in Massachusetts. Especially with that accent. There's no R in the word queer.
No, the Boston accent makes anything instantly racist, homophobic, sexist. Like the whole gamut. It just ruins everything it touches.
If you want to know how to say queer in a Boston accent, it's
queer.
It's spelled Kweeeh.
Queer car.
Are you proud of yourself?
So proud.
Okay, good. I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm proud that you're proud. But anyway, yeah. So words are always changing the meanings, and like if they're okay to say and it's okay to say.
So in a couple years, in like a decade, you can play "Let's Get
R-worded,"
and it might be fine, right?
I don't know. Music is music too, but language is ever changing.
It is.
it's hard to say what will happen in 10 years. There will be a ton of more new made-up words or words that maybe be borrowed / appropriated that catch fire. So
let's get
it started.
It started in here.
I used to love the Black Eyed Peas too.
What happened to that? Well, they kind of broke up a little bit. Like,
Fergie
left. And then it wasn't the same.
Yeah, I think it's still the guys.
It's still the guys. All the guys are there.
Because, like, I mean, might as well I am. Unfortunately, it's sort of like, what are the other two going to do? So,
you know.
Hang out.
Chill. Wait for Will to get back. Him to write some music.
Hey, Taboo, do you think he's coming back?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I sure hope he does, though. I'm getting worried.
I don't know why you, like, made him sound like he's from Wisconsin.
Don't you know?
Well, I am. Don't you know?
Well, I am. Or nor.
Oh, there's so many songs, too, that, like... This is how I know I'm bad at Hurdle. Like, it's no secret. I've talked about it several times. I am really bad at Hurdle. I'm really bad at hearing a song and being like, who sings this or what is its name? And most times it's like, I recognize this song, but I will never, ever, ever be able to guess who this is, who sang it or what it's called. Because I'm very much like you have to repeat it a bunch of times in the chorus for me to think that it's the title. And K-pop's ruined my brain in that regard. So there's so many songs that, like, there's a few that you've shown me that you were like, I listened to this a lot as a kid or whatever. And I'd be like, oh my God, that's what it's called. You hear this from me all the time. I'm sorry about it. But I'm learning constantly between uncensored versions, which are basically like new songs for me, or just learning the names of people or titles of songs that for years I never knew. I would probably be one of those, like, what's the name of the song? And then it goes, like, that would be me. So, like, thank God for Shazam. I use that thing very often.
Technology has evolved now that you can, like, hum a song and it'll...
Oh my God, yeah. The Google, like, find my song or something, you just hum it. Oh my God.
It kind of works.
It does. It's weird. I've tried it with, like, really obscure songs.
That's, like, how I always wanted to, like, find songs as a kid.
Yes! Oh my God.
Like you said, like, there are some songs out there that I don't know the name of, but I like it, and I know the chorus, or I know, like, the bridge or whatever. And it's like, I don't know what this is called, but, like, if I had that ability when I was a kid, I would have lost my fucking mind.
It's amazing how far... Man, we went from burning CDs to being able to hum a song into your cellular device. Wowie zowie.
Wowie zowie.
Sorry, I'm just checking the time.
No, it's fun. We're good.
Okay.
But it's incredible.
It is.
It is really cool.
Here's a stupid question.
Yeah.
Were you an iPod kid or a Zune kid?
I actually didn't have... So for a long time, I didn't have either.
Oh, okay.
I was straight up like a portable CD player.
Ooh, all right. I like option C. That's a good one.
And then I got like a small MP3 player that sucked.
Yes, I remember having something a small MP3 player too.
Just like an off-brand thing. It
didn't feel solid. It was like some painted silver. Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I had one of those, and then I jumped from there to like why is that toilet flushing all the time? God damn it! It's throwing me off. I'm trying to talk, and the toilet's just flushing like fucking God. Married with children.
People are gonna people are gonna think that you're making things up.
I'm not.
I'm just not acknowledging it. So anyway.
What the fuck was I saying, Tory?
You made the jump technologically
to an iPod Touch.
Okay, good. We got there in the end.
So I did have an iPod, but it was just really late in the game.
Me too.
And I had an iPod Touch, and it was awesome. I love that thing.
I was late in the game because I was a contrarian, and I didn't want an iPod because everybody was getting an iPod. And I was like, I'm fine with my portable CD player with the individual earphones that hook over your ear.
Oh, I
loved
had
those things.
Those were pretty fucking good. Mine were Sony, like the Sony blue and red ones.
Oh, mine was silver and blue, but
they made them in all colors.
Yeah.
Every like company made those at the time.
Yeah, Now, is there a CD that you feel like you listen to like the most of your any CD list like as in your upbringing?
I have a couple.
Okay.
So I paid the first CD I ever paid for with my own money was Will Smith's Big Willie Style. Okay.
I remember you telling me this.
Yeah. And my mom knew that I really loved to listen to music, so she bought me the CD player, like the boombox.
Oh, boomboxes.
Yeah. And I was so excited for that. And I'm like, well, I won't have anything to play with it, so I bought Big Willie Style to play in it, right?
That's awesome.
I was like 7 years old.
That's
or something,
so cool.
right? So that CD, I played the hell and back. I really loved the first Britney Spears CD.
Yep.
And it came with a booklet. It was great.
Yep.
It was wonderful. I played the fuck out of what was it? Oh, AFI, Sing the Sorrow.
Yes.
I was a big
Great
fan
album.
of that CD.
Yep.
And that band in general, like I'm just a big fan of it. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. I played the shit out of that.
Yes.
Like every day. 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die
I was waiting for you to
Trying.
say that one. I remembered that one.
That one was huge. I got that. I remember getting that like at the end of 8th grade. I was going into 9th grade. I bought the CD. We had like a day and a half trip from Florida to New York on Amtrak because it was like the year or like year and a half after 9/11. So I'm like, I don't want to take a plane, Mom.
Yeah.
So we went on a train ride. Sense. I played the shit out of that CD. I could probably tell you every word of every song.
Slim Shady. Yeah.
LP. Marshall Mathers LP. Played those to death.
Damn.
Tupac.
You got more than a couple. This is good though.
All right, listen. I listened to I only had a limited collection because we didn't have a lot. But Tupac compilation of all of his hits. I had a ton more, but I'm gonna stop there.
Okay.
How's that?
All right.
Okay.
The one CD I know that I listened to like maybe by my own recollection the most was the Welcome to the Black Parade album by My Chemical Romance. Like I asked for that for Christmas and got it for Christmas, and I don't remember putting anything else in my CD player to listen to on my way to school until like March. Like I listened to nothing but that. Obsessed.
So you knew it.
Yeah.
Entirely.
Yep. And I like freaked out. It was like because there's the hidden track Blood. I was like, so I was fast forwarding on my portable CD player. I was pressing fast forward because I was like, it says there's another track, and like maybe they just forgot it. So I was skimming through, and I freaked out when I was like, oh my god, it's a hidden track.
Hidden tracks were crazy, man. There was, and you don't have that anymore because you can't. Yeah. It's all digital. But like that shit was so cool. Like listening to an album, finding a fucking it's not listed on the notes. Yeah. Like what the fuck is this?
Yep. So cool. I mean, I think I had some standard. Oh, I know. So another mind-blowing thing of a product of our time before the internet and MP3s and whatever, or burning CDs, maybe not burning CDs, was the Now That's What I Call Music.
Yes.
Compilation CDs. The idea of multiple artists to me being on like, and popular artists, like usually it'd be multiple artists of like the same genre. This was like multiple artists of just anybody who's hit it big on the radio. And that was such a mind-blowing concept to me. Like I played the crap out of that so much. And I think because I can't, someone gave me Sharpies at a young age. I would like put dots on the back of the jewel case of like which singer I liked so I could know which ones to skip.
Hey,
I'm neurotic as hell, man.
That's fucking good. That's fucking good.
Neurotic child. But yeah, the idea of compilation CDs that like I didn't have to make were so unreal to me.
Now was kind of ahead of the game in that because like they would release the compilation CDs. They weren't too far ahead of the game because like a year or two after they released, like I think people started burning their own CDs at home.
Well, that and also just the fact that they're still continuing today.
They're still going. I mean, I don't know anyone who would fucking buy them, but
when there are curated playlists for just the exact criteria that they are putting on their Now CDs, so.
Yep. Someone's still compiling those, and
that's like 70 something.
That's That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Now that's what I call music. Sometimes the fucking commercial would come on at like 4 a.m.
That commercial, the Love Ballads commercial.
Love ballads.
And I'm listening to Richard Marx pouring his heart out, and I'm like, I'm like 7 years old, and I have school tomorrow. Why are you yelling?
Shut the fuck up.
Right.
It was also one for Christian rock or whatever.
Oh my god.
And it was like, just
rock
open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
Yes. Oh my god.
That's what I call Christian rock or whatever.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure there was like R&B, or not R&B, maybe R&B.
Oh yeah.
There were so many.
There was one for everything.
But yeah, product of the times, man. So I listened to that one a lot anyway. And the ones I remember listening to the most were the ones that really shaped me into like this little baby goth, as it were, when I was in middle school. So like Evanescence, I forget the name of the album, but it has My Immortal on it. The first 2 Fall Out Boy albums. It's very important. First 2 Linkin Park albums, and then eventually more. But I like Hybrid Theory and Meteora. I almost called it Minutes to Midnight, and that's the other one.
That's the next one.
I listened to those so much because I didn't know this idea of like record scratching. I think what's it called, industrial metal or something like that. With like rapping and stuff, and I was like, wow, this is like rock and hip hop, and I'm this little kid in New England, so I'm like, this is cool. I've never heard anything like this or whatever. So that was really mind blowing to me. More of My Chemical Romance, same with 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. There was another one. I can't remember. I mean, around this time too, I was also learning about like, I was watching anime, and I was learning about Japanese songs through anime openings and stuff. So that was also pretty formative, not as CDs, but I did listen to the Hi Puffy Amiyumi CD a ton.
They are a national treasure.
They really are. They're still going. They're
they
awesome.
Are.
Yeah.
They're
rad.
They are rad.
I want to be like them when I grow up.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I'm looking at the time.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
We gotta wrap it up unfortunately. So I'm gonna end this music talk with question for you, which is what was your first? I think you've talked about this maybe, but so if not, you can answer something different. Okay. What was your first concert?
Yeah, we have talked about this.
Yeah. Or you can talk about like one of your favorite concerts, if not that.
All right. So maybe I can do both.
Okay.
My first concert was at a state fair. It was the South Florida Fair, which is in town usually. I don't know if it's changed now. I've been there in a while. Like January, February. Like it's a weird time for a fair, I think. I saw Carlos Santana perform with I don't know if it was Rob Thomas or if it was just somebody
doing Rob Thomas. Or somebody doing a Rob Thomas impression.
Yeah. So I think it was those two, and I think even the Black Eyed Peas were there.
Wow. In January?
Maybe they were. Maybe I imagined that. No, maybe they were playing that song because it was popular at the time, like you know that one with the
Where's the Love?
Yeah, Where's the Love?
I knew it.
yeah, for sure. So maybe that's like a fake memory that I'm creating, but I definitely saw Santana and probably Rob Thomas, and they did Smooth, of course, because that was
such a good song.
The song. Oh, that's a great song.
Yeah.
So that's the first one I had. What was my best one? Man, that My Chemical Romance concert we went to was really fucking good.
Yeah.
I've only been to one K-pop show, so I can't really.
Soon to be 2.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Talk about that next time.
Sure. No, for sure.
Yeah.
No, we won't.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
But anyways.
So My Chemical Romance would be one of your best
concert
experiences?
That was a great one. I love Coheed and Cambria. They put on a great show.
How many times have you gone to see them? I'm just curious.
Like 10 times.
That's amazing.
They put on a really great show. I didn't like the one in the parking lot. I gotta say that was.
Where you were standing on a speed bump.
I was standing on a speed bump, and I was not sober.
Yeah.
So it was very hard to stand on that speed bump, but
you did it though.
I did. What was your most favorite concert, and what was your first?
My first concert was Puffy Yumi, actually.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I learned about them. I think it must have been through Teen Titans first with their theme song, and then their show came out not too long after. And then they released an album, which some of it was stuff in the show, and then a lot of it was English versions of their older Japanese songs. I didn't know that. This was my first experience with them.
Yes.
And they did a concert in Somerville, and I convinced my mom to go. Bless her heart, man. She like she's like,
last year it was the Pokemon movie. This year it's this.
Yeah, I was just a sensitive soul, man. I don't know what to say about that. But they were awesome, and they did a cover of Basket Case by Green Day. Like, it was so cool. That's another album I stole from my dad, was Dookie by Green Day. I forgot about that. But it was so much fun, and it like really expanded my horizons into foreign music, even though they sing mostly in English, actually. So
yeah.
They're very fluent in English. It's awesome. So
they're a good duo.
Yeah, they are. So I've got two kind of. So my favorite concert I ever went to was Big Bang.
Big Bang.
2010 Galaxy concert. It was in what they kept calling New York, which was really New Jersey. Yeah. But it's like whatever, close enough. And it was like, now being such a big fan of theirs and seeing everything they've gone through, I'm like very thankful that I got to see them once live.
Sure.
Like, it was so fun. I don't remember how much I paid. It was definitely worth it. But they were also like doing like, this is 2010. Like, this is like not a time where a lot of K-pop artists are coming to.
Yeah, they were early on that. Huh?
Yeah. So I think the tickets might actually have been cheaper, because there was kind of a doubt of if a Korean band could fill a stadium or whatever. So, they could. So that was good, but that was one of my favorites.
They could.
My other favorite is kind of a story. So my mom, like, my birthday and Christmas are pretty close together. You know, and my mom, whatever I don't get for Christmas, I usually get for my birthday. So my mom gave my dad a list of things I hadn't gotten for Christmas that I still wanted to go shop for me for. And I had like a few friends over and stuff for, like, my birthday was on a weekday night. So I just had a couple friends and we had cake. And my dad forgot to shop for me for my birthday gifts. So immediately my mom goes online and buys me and a friend, one of my friends I'm still friends with to this day, tickets to the Spice Girls reunion concert. Which is probably I have never asked her how much these tickets are, but probably one of the most expensive oopsie doopsies my dad's ever had.
She's like, you know what? We got to break it out.
Right? No, it wasn't even planned. Like, I think she had heard of it or something. I don't know if I had asked, like, can I go, please, or whatever. Like the sitcoms were like, please, mom, please. She might have just heard of it, but oh my god. I'll have to ask her too, because I was just psyched to go to the Spice Girls. That concert was awesome. I was kind of far away, and
that sounds so cool.
I had a singular flip cell phone, so I was trying to take these like really crappy like of that. Like, they are 5 spots on a blue lit stage from what I remember of these pictures. They were not good, but it's like,
it's all up here.
Yes, that's also why I prefer to maybe snap a couple pictures, but not film. Like, it doesn't seem like.
Well, I film sometimes. Sometimes I film.
But it doesn't feel like you're watching. I don't feel like I'm watching the performer like live if I'm doing it like through the phone. Does that make sense? It's
yeah. Really, no, I completely agree.
But I have filmed things sometimes, but not like these people who are literally filming the entire concert.
No, the whole concert, I think that's weird. Mm-hmm. But if it's a song I really like and I'm like, oh shit, like I want to see part of this, I'll do that.
Maybe we'll talk about concert etiquette next time after we go to a concert we'll be going to. So
which one is that?
It's aespa.
Whoa.
It's been a very rough year. So I was trying to save money by not going to any concerts that weren't in Massachusetts. And aespa, with their like 12 song discography, has decided that they probably have more than that, like 20. They have decided they're going to come to Boston to have a concert. So.
And are you a fan of aespa?
I am. I like their stuff. And I like Ning Ning.
They're really cool. They're like, so how do I explain this? They have like a concept.
Oh,
right?
yes. Their company loves concepts. And it's that they are like fighters in this other world called
like...
Kwangya. And they have to fight the evil black mamba, but they also have like avatar helpers that are called novice. It's a lot. But if you just like, if you want to push the sci-fi part of it away, you'll still get some really great songs from these girls. So
do they love Black Mamba or do they hate her?
No, hate her.
Wait, hate
Black Mamba.
Hate a Mamba?
No, Black Mamba. What are you trying to do?
Shit.
What are you trying to do? We're near the end of the show. What are you trying to do?
There's a part in the song where she's like, hate a mama.
I actually don't listen to Black Mamba very much.
Oh my god.
It's not one of my favorites, so I don't listen to it very much. I don't know it as well as some of the others, so
okay.
Sorry. I only know like the yeah part. In the most lackluster cover of aespa ever.
Yeah. You sound like fucking Roz from
you
Monsters
didn't
Inc.
submit your paperwork.
Yeah.
Alright. So anyway, if for whatever reason you liked what you heard today,
forever,
for more music talk, because like we've said, this is a pretty big passion of ours forever. And if you want to just hear more general musings of two millennials sitting in lawn chairs inside with a galaxy background, we didn't even talk about this. Hello, Wonho. Didn't bring him up either. We just like kind of jumped into it. But anyway, if you liked all of this stuff, please consider subscribing and help us be at the age of 40. It's the only time I ever want to see that number so soon.
I was thinking about that today.
Of being 40?
Yeah, I'm like,
You're a ways away from it.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Oh my god. We're not doing this right now. If you want to see the young, spry, and always fly Lewis on social medias, go to twitter.com. I don't think you type in X and it matters. Every time I pull up a Twitter link, an X link, it comes up as twitter.com still. But anyway.
No, I don't even, I'm not, no, we're not doing that. It's Twitter.
Okay, so for Twitter, and for twitch.tv, both of them are /UnoLumo. Find him there, promoting Shrek memes.
Oh, I gotta show you
all day, every day.
Yes, for sure. I love Shrek.
shout out to my boy Shrek.
Shout out to my boy Shrek. And if you want to see Tory and anything that she does, you can make sure to follow her channel on YouTube, youtube.com/AzarathsFlame, AZARATHSFLAMEE. What?
No, I'm still impressed when you do that.
Oh, okay.
It's like, wow.
Or twitter.com/trippydes, TRIPPYDESU.
Where you may also find me posting Shrek memes.
I encourage it for sure.
Yeah. So, anyway, also we have socials for the channel, which are TikTok and Twitter at LEM'n'TEA Podcast. There are TikToks up. It's amazing. Yay. Good job, TikTok poster.
It was you.
It's me. Hi, I'm the poster. It's me. So
nicely done.
So if you want to follow us there, again, it's Twitter, TikTok at LEM'n'TEA Podcast. And I think that's going to do it for this musically charged episode.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a lot to talk about anyways.
Music will always come up in some way. It was just cool to find out the origins of music. The origin stories.
The origins of music and all the grunting.
And remember, have your dog spayed or neutered and make sure that they are loyal to you.
If you want loyalty, she's saying,
get a spayed or neutered dog.
Get a spayed or neutered dog.
Perfect.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Good night. I just knocked the thing again. Hey.
I know. I kept doing that too.
God damn it. All right. Bye.
Bye.
For real, though.